important is our own Mrs. Ayoyinka Owairu. Yinka Owairu is the director of Let's Consult, and those are the organizers of this webinar. And she has gone on to leave, she's almost, I would say, almost leaving the classroom for the consulting world, but we will not let her leave. She still has to teach. She's a fellow of the Chartered Management Institute, United Kingdom, fellow of the Chartered Institutes of Administrators. She's a seasoned administrator. She's an experienced consultant and a teacher of over 2 decades with top-level responsibilities. As an educationist, she's vast in monitoring and evaluating local and international curriculum for both quality and effective delivery. She develops, implements broad and relevant curriculum, which embraces the school specialisms, innovative approaches to teaching and learning, and leading best practices in teaching methodologies. I don't think there's anyone here who's more qualified to talk about applying principles for creating streams of income than Yinka Owairu. I call her my serial entrepreneur. When it comes to looking for avenues to creating different and alternative streams of income, you can count on her. So we'll be drinking from her wealth of experience in this area as well. So those are our 3 panelists today, and we're delighted to have you here. But before we start, I would like to call on Mrs. Ayoyinka Owairu to tell us about something that's unfolding in the Teachers with Purpose group, which is about the launch of Teachers Breaking Barrier Tribe. The Teachers with Purpose is going to launch something that's about to help the teaching profession by creating a tribe of teachers who are ready for the next best practice for the future, teaching for the future. So welcome, Yinka Owairu, would like to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Chemoa. Thank you for that intro. That was really good. Mrs. Afilaka, it's good to have you on board. Mrs. Manua, the same thing. It's good to have you on board. Thank you so much. So I'll just say this quickly. For most of my career in leadership and administration, I've been privileged to work with teachers. I know the barriers they face. I know the mindset. I know this is our time. This is our time. And we've been doing Teachers with Purpose Summit for 4 years. We do it and then, we release the teachers and we go. So hashtag Teachers Breaking Barriers, we want to form a support group. I actually want to commit my time. And because I'm committing my time is costly. People pay me for my time. I'm looking for serious teachers who really, because we are professionals. I get very emotional when I'm talking about these things because we can change the world. We can change the status quo. But for one reason or the other, I don't know why as teachers, we don't see ourselves as professionals. We don't go for it. We're not taking our place. So Teachers Breaking Barriers is exactly that. We want to break that barrier, that limitation on teachers, the way we're looked at, the way we're recognized, what people think of us. I remember, quickly when I was going to be a teacher, there was resistance in my mind because of my perception of who teachers are. And we want to change that once and for all. I meet young people who desire to be in the education field, but because of what they see, they're the last sector that they want to be found in. And then so we get dumped on. At the end of the day, we're the sector that gets dumped on. And we keep going around in circles. So what we're hoping for serious people, this is going to be streamed on Instagram and Facebook. We're putting it on the YouTube. There's going to be a time gap. If you're on this seminar today, if you're interested, give us your email. We're not going to be doing WhatsApp. We're going to be doing emailing. One of the things I know about teachers is we're resisting technology. We're the smartest people. We are the smartest people. We're knowledge brokers. And at the end of the day, we're the most resistant to change that is coming. So Teachers Breaking Barrier is for us to have a group of teachers who believe they can be at the top of their field, who believe that they're professionals as well, who want to break that ceiling that's supposed to, that's supposed to be hanging over our heads. And we're going to be doing it through trainings. We're going to be doing it through question and answer sessions. We're going to be doing it through, just supporting teachers. and empowering them as much as possible. Like I said, my time is gold, but I want to commit to this. Because you cannot be part of something and you cannot keep saying, I want change, I want change, I want change, and you're not willing to offer the support that will create that change. So that is why we're launching Teachers Breaking Barriers from Teach to Endure. We want to do it for a year, and we want serious people. And we believe that there will be testimonies and that we can actually change the face of education and teaching in Nigeria without waiting for the government. We don't have to wait for the government. There are other ways and other things we can do. So that will be it. So if you, my darling facilitator, Ma, if you can just reiterate that as we go along. If you're interested, you need to give us your email. If it's only one person, we're starting with that one person. If it's only two people, we're starting with those two people. And after today, if you have to come into that tribe, it will be under a lot of scrutiny. So that will be it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yinka Owairu. We've all heard from her. So participants who are interested in joining this new tribe, please drop your emails for us so that we can follow up and get in touch with you and tell you what the next step is in building this tribe of new teachers for the future. Thank you very much. Thank you once again, Yinka. Now, without wasting time, because we're being mindful of the time today, I would like to invite Dr. Manua to start the first session on building resilience for challenging situations. Like we had said earlier, these have been very challenging times for us, but most of the time we think about the financial challenges, the physical challenges, the change that we're going through, without thinking about what these changes are doing to our mental state and our minds and our emotions. And these, like our physical bodies, need to be taken care of as well. So would like to hear from you, Fiki Manua. Thank you.
All right, then, okay, just to go back a bit and start about teachers. So I'm Dr. Fiki Manua, as I've been introduced. I will call her Mrs. Ayinka Owairu. I call her Auntie Inka. I was actually the pioneer set of one of the schools where she started, for lack of a better word, ST Private Academy. So I've known her for over 1995. Yes, so I've known her for about 25 years, and she's one of the people who have actually mentored me throughout life. And she called yesterday regarding this. So sorry, the only reason I'm saying this is sorry about the background and some of the noise. I had to take my daughter out. Yes, and my mom is also a teacher. My mom retired as a principal and was an educator for a long time. She retired 2015. So I'm kind of passionate. I'm also very passionate about teachers. That's just the beginning of that. And we know that it's the COVID era. There's one of the things I tell my young people that I work with is that it's an unprecedented time, which is something we say a lot. It's very unprecedented. It's something we've never, I don't think anybody alive has gone through. So it's a lot of stress on us. There's a lot of challenges, not just some people still have jobs, but it's just the isolation. So it's a lot of things we're thinking about for the first time. There's a lot of isolation. We can't go out. If you're in Nigeria, we know that Sundays, weekends are for parties, for church. We can't do that anymore. So there are a lot of things that have changed for a lot of people. Even just going down to the market, it's not the same. So going down to the supermarket, it's not the same. You have to wear a mask. So there's a lot of change which is taking a toll on our health. And a lot of people we forget that apart from physical health, there's also the mental health. A lot of Nigerians especially will tell you that we don't focus a lot on mental health. We are more bothered about the physical health. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the WhatsApp group of, okay, take ginger, take turmeric, take garlic. My mom makes up every day and sends me a whole list of things. And if you became a joker one day, I'll say, okay, mommy, it's not that one. What happened to the hot water and lemon before? You've changed it. But no one talks about mental health. No one is saying, how do you keep sane, for lack of a better word? How do we, how are we able to continue in this time, this isolation and this change? So today is just about how do we build that resilience for our mental health. So it's just one of the things I will say is try and keep up a routine. You know, what do we do? Try and have this routine that you keep to keep you steady. Keep in touch with people as much as you can. Try and prevent yourself from being very isolated. These are just some helpful tips. I tell people avoid the news as much as you can. Keep what is important, but there are a lot of things that are scary, and there are a lot of fake news online. There are a lot of things that are scary. Just, you know, try and focus on each day. You know, things that will make you feel happy. What makes you feel happy? If it's singing, if it's dancing. I tell people exercise. One of the things I tell a lot of people is I wake up every morning and I jump. I'm what we call a foodie. I love food. But how do we try and balance that out? Because a lot of people, truth about it, a lot of people in this last few months have added a lot of weight. It's a struggle, and that alone also has been affecting a lot of people. So even if it's a 30-minute walk or 1 hour walk, that just clears up your mind, because we know that with exercise, it releases what we call endorphins, which are helpful, and that also stimulates the brain. Those are a few tips, but I think I'm more, because I was more last minute. I don't really have a presentation, so I'm more here for question and answers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manuwa. Sorry, I like to call professionals by their titles. You guys end it. It's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of work to get where you are today. So I'm taking away from here that as well as our physical bodies, we need to take care of our mental state too in times like this, in challenging and stressful times. We try to sift through the information we get to drop out the false information and pick what is useful to us, because you can't actually get bogged down by all the information that's flying on around if you want to utilize every piece of information that's thrown your way. And also to keep ourselves happy, be in our happy places, and exercise to keep the happy hormones flowing. Thank you very much. I'm checking the question and answer box to see if we have any questions yet for Dr. Manuwa, but we do not have yet. And okay, Yinka Wairo has a question for Dr. Manuwa. Please go ahead.
Okay, like Dr. Manuwa did say, you know, as Nigerians, we really do ignore our mental health. And, you know, I think the reason why we shy away from it is when we say mental health, people think you're talking about madness or being crazy. But I would want Dr. Manuwa to explain what mental health means. And then part two of the question is, how much of my mental state affects the way I behave? How much of my mental state affects the person I am? Because see, when we keep looking at the work you want to do, how much of me taking care of myself mentally will determine the kind of worker I am or the kind of person I am. If you can shed more light on that, that would be good.
Okay, sorry, that's my son is calling. Okay, so there's really no definition of mental health. It's like saying how do we define health? It's just it's a rather very, you know, I can't give a particular definition, but one of the things I would say is that we know that is actually part of mental health is one of the things we look at as people, as in just how well are you feeling within yourself. That's the easiest way to say how are you feeling within yourself, as in that's just your physical, not just your physical, but your emotional well-being. You know, that's what all mental health stuff. So it's, as you said, a mental state. So mental state is, we're thinking about things about your mood. What is your mood about? So that's something, even your parents goes down to your mental state. So, you know, these are the type of, if I say patient, I say, okay, what is the person's mental state? I have to think about how does this person appear? This person, you know, sometimes when you're looking very stressed out, you become, the person looks unkempt. That's part of it. Your behavior, your appearance. You think about things like, when you're talking about the crazy, that's why you think about things like hearing voices, hallucinations, even how you think. You know, if you're, one of the things you think about in mental health is also your thoughts. And in that part, we sometimes think about, okay, even if it's just being focused on a particular thing, it's person, you know, my thoughts, what we call content, is that what you're focusing on. You find out people sometimes are really focused on, oh, I'm really stressed out. You know, some people are thinking about, I'm really tired. I'm tired of being here. So we call it suicidal ideation. so things like that is what we look about. Things like, okay, what is your, do you remember what today is? So we said, that's what I say is, are you oriented in place, time, and person? Those are all things we think about when we're talking about mental state.
Okay. Is the facilitator allowed to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. Considering what teachers have been through in this time since March, a lot of teachers have lost their jobs. Some who've been able to retain their jobs are being paid salary, half salaries, 30% salaries, 40%. Some have had their salaries kept on hold until school resumes. And when these people come back to school, they're supposed to perform this all-important task of still educating the young minds, taking care of them while in school, not minding that mentally they may not be in a good place. Would you advise that school owners should provide some sort of counseling for teachers before they resume back in school?
Yes. Hello? Is that me or?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, I think her internet just went off a bit. Is it mine? Okay, I'm sure she will come back to us. Okay, I'm sure she will come back to us. Okay.
Okay, yes. Oh, sorry, I don't know. I'm trying to even try and log in with another one. Yes, so it's one of the things that we, okay, sorry, let me try and join with this.
Okay.